Wow.
We will see the baby dragon at the end. We'll save it.
What's the story? What's the story of the dragon?
The story of the baby dragon. We'll talk about it later as well, don't worry.
Are there any creatures living in those caves?
3 million years ago. But here is one thing. The stone that you can see all around us, it's limestone. It's really dissolvable stone that was dissolved by the river that we can see outside, which name is Pivka. So the stone around us, it's actually 90 million years old. Meanwhile, the cave itself, it's 3 million years old. This part of the cave that we are in right now, it's 1.5 million years old. Okay? So here's the thing. River Pivka actually made 3 levels. Okay? So the first level is where we were driving in with a train, right? And the second level, it's underneath. We will visit it at number 11, which is the lowest point of our journey as well. And of course, the third level, you can visit it in 5 million years. Okay? So river is still going through the cave and still building up the cave. So the cave is still growing. The cave has 24 kilometers. Okay? We know about 24 kilometers, but we think and we know there is more. And let me explain you why. And I will start with another question. Was anyone here in Ljubljana? Just raise your hands. The capital of Slovenia. Okay, 1, 2. Anyone else? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Anyone else? Okay. So do you know the river that goes through Ljubljana? How is it called? Okay, it's called Ljubljanica. So Ljubljana, Ljubljanica. Okay, perfect. So here is the thing. The river that you can see outside of the cave, and we'll see it inside the cave as well when we hop off the train, is the same river that we can see in Ljubljana. So it just air between those rocks. And when the water came through, which is a bit acid, it started to dissolve a limestone. And of course, it was like from a small hole, it was bigger and bigger. And after a while, the ceiling collapsed. That's why all the rocks you can see left and right on the ground, they're actually collapsed rocks. Okay? So, let me tell you something about the dripstones. Do you know why do we call them dripstones? Dripping stones. That's right. So, the water is dripping. So imagine, it's raining outside, okay? And the water falls on the ground. And like I said, it's a bit acid. So it dissolves limestone and calcium and all kinds of minerals, which gives us color. Okay? So when the water comes on top of the ceiling and it's there for a longer period of time, the stalactites will form. Those are the stalactites right here. So how can we remember this name? Stalactites, they are holding tight on the ceiling. They don't fall. So stalactites holding tight. Okay? Then we have stalagmites. When the drop falls from the ceiling, like a big amount of force to actually destroy them as well. It's a rock, right? So we need a big amount of force. It's actually calcite, and those crystals that we can see left and the right, those are calcites. It's calcite, so it's really hard to break it. But for example, in the other part of the cave that we'll see titanium and the most fragile flames. Covered 200 years ago. And of course, right over there across the bridge, we can see another part of the cave that was discovered in 1890. Okay? So this part behind us, 1818, the part across the bridge in 1890. Okay, so hear me out. We have a train inside the cave since 1880s. Okay, and here is the thing. Of course, at start we didn't have a train like we have today, the electric one. We had carts. So, us guides, we were pushing carts inside the cave. Thankfully, we don't need to do that anymore, right? Otherwise, we'll be completely wet. So, of course, before that, they were actually going inside the cave by foot, which is interesting as well. The trip lasted for 6 hours. Okay, so. Through the lungs and of course through the skin. So there are a few facts about it, a few interesting facts. So those little creature lives up to 100 years. Here is another shell coming. They can stay 10 years without food. Okay, they eat little shrimps for the living, and of course, eat heartbeats once or twice per minute. They're almost completely blind, and they can sense light very well, but they can feel it. So that's why we're not allowed to use flash on them right here.
Some arms down there. It's so weird. That is weird. It's got arms. Is he moving? Yeah.